Welcome, everyone. Today I am really excited because I have with us TJ Watson. He is one of our author contributors in the book Art of Connection, which is coming out on February 17th, 2021. My name is Shawn Jones, and I am the CEO of the iNetrepreneur Network. TJ, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you, Shawn. It's a pleasure to be here. Really appreciate you bringing me on.
We're really excited. You know, you and I have known each other for a few years, do business together. But while I know and love you and what your company does, share a little bit with us about who you are and how you're making impact in the world.
Absolutely. So, TJ Watson, I own a computer company called Bits and Bytes Computers. And when we developed this, we set out to be different than what you would think of as a traditional computer company. Lots of people think of them as geeks in a basement that aren't very personal and don't have that one-on-one ability to really connect and help you. And we decided that we were going to change the industry and start a business model that was the total opposite of that. We're not the kid at Walmart that you go back to for service and there's just no help. We're there to work with you one-on-one on a personalized basis. And that's what we've been doing throughout the community, doing that, also running some initiatives, working with recycling so that we can give back to American Legions, VFWs, and a lot of other nonprofits.
Wow. You really do stand apart in your industry, and I know this firsthand. Now, is this your first book that you've ever co-authored or contributed or even published on your own?
It is actually. Yeah, this is the first time I've done it. I've always wanted to write a full book. But this was an opportunity to kind of get, my feet wet, get my words out there and try and help other entrepreneurs.
So you kind of led into, you have a book inside of you. Now that you have one book that's coming out, The Art of Connection, do you think you're going to start working on your own book this year?
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm really excited about that. I've talked with another member from our community, Mr. Brian K. Wright. I'm sure you know Brian. He's a great guy. He's helping me right now with some ghostwriting. So hopefully have that rolled out here in the next year or two. As you know, these things do take time. You hit that writer's block and you just got to push through it and get your message out. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Once I find that everybody who I've ever talked to has released a book, it takes one book to go public. And then it's like they're hooked. They just keep on producing more and more. And whether it's a collection or they switch, making different series. So this is exciting. And then what I have to ask, I know that you're part of our community, but what inspired you to be part of this book?
I wish that when I started out with my company, I had a book like this to keep me going. I've always been into daily devotionals, things of that nature to, get me pumped up in the morning and going, but it would always be just a short phrase or so that would stick with me for an hour or two. And then that would be it. It wasn't anything that I could really work on. And so when I saw the format and structure of this book and how it was, you could throw out a quote, you could throw out a thought, you could ask a question. I thought, you know what, that could be a lot more valuable to the community of business entrepreneurs out there that are in the same position that I'm in. Maybe they're more advanced even, or even just starting out, to have something to carry them through the day and give them little projects to work on to improve themselves on a personal level.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. And this book is written by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And it's really leaving a legacy for those that come across the book and read it. It really forces you to look inside yourself and what you're doing. Your quote, I love what you had to say. When I read the quote, it just kind of stopped me in my tracks. So I want to share this with everyone. So TJ, your quote is coming out on June 12th, but being that it's a book, you can obviously jump ahead if you're that overachiever. So your quote is, sometimes our greatest challenges are the only things that motivate us to reach our full potential. And I love how you use the word challenges. Because a challenge is not necessarily a roadblock. It's just a different way of having to look at something. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The quote it came from a special place for me. Starting the business off, it came from a challenging point in my life. And it was a point where I felt like I really didn't have a lot of options. And the only option that I felt that I was capable of taking on was actually going backwards. And so what I found was that situation, I won't give out too much because that's in the book, is that when we're comfortable, we don't change. We get complacent. We decide that good enough is good enough. And you know what? It's been in my most challenging times that I've made the most progress. And if it weren't for those challenges, then there wouldn't have been anything to push me to actually find the better version of myself that in turn helps the community, my family, and the people I surround myself with. So that's why that quote means so much to me.
I love what you wrote. It truly is inspiring. And for those that are on here, you definitely need to read the thought that TJ wrote behind the quote. Now, TJ, if you can talk to other entrepreneurs, maybe ones that are looking to become entrepreneurs or ones that are already entrepreneurs, what is your one top piece, I call it the golden nugget, advice that you can give to other entrepreneurs?
I would say to not be afraid of doing things that other people don't approve of. That is something that will make or break you personally in business and everything that you set out to do. There's always going to be somebody there that wants to tear you down, that wants to laugh and chuckle when you're doing something that's outside of maybe what they wouldn't do. But you got to know that if you just go out there and you do it and you say, you know what, I know that that's the opposition I'm going to face, but I don't care because I'm going to do me. I believe with my heart what's right. And that's all that really matters. So that's the advice that I would give. There's been years I've looked back when I didn't do that and had so much regret inside. And now that I've broken past that point, it's amazing the pride that I feel for the accomplishments that I'm creating now and that I'm looking forward to creating in the future.
I call it breaking the chains. It's like you just drop the shackles and you just go all in. And it doesn't matter what other people think, feel, say, do. It's what boils it down to is, what do you need for you? What feels best to you? And you have ultimate control over you. So TJ, I just want to say thank you again for being part of our book, Art of Connection. If someone would like to talk to you more about the book or even about your company, what is a great way for someone to reach you?
Absolutely. So you can reach out to me on social media. I'm very active on Facebook, LinkedIn, just search for TJ Watson with no periods. You can also reach us directly at our store here at 480-380-5340. Or jump on our website at bitsandbytesstore.com and connect to us that way as well.
Fantastic. And again, for those that are watching, TJ, he is one of our contributing authors in the Art of Connection book coming out on February 17th, 2021. To get your copy, you can go to 365networkingquotes.com. That's 365networkingquotes.com. And if you're interested in also being in our next book coming out, go to our website and just give us a contact, and we're glad to help you also leave a legacy for others. Again, TJ, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate it.